Welcome back to Capitol Review. Black women play a defining role in politics. And next week, The Hill has partnered with Howard University for the Black Women in Politics event. And joining us now is The Hill's Cheyanne Daniels, and she will be the moderator for the event. And she's also the race and politics reporter with The Hill and creator of and host of the Switch Up podcast. Cheyanne, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me.
Let's talk about this event. Why is it important?
Absolutely. So we know that Black voters are so important to the 2024 election, and helping drive Black voters to the polls is Black women. And so I wanted to take time before the election where we talk about the power of Black women voters and where we talk about what's on the tops of the minds of Black women in today's society. And on top of that, what's driving them to not only go to the ballot boxes, but to run for office themselves.
Well, what are the top issues for Black women ahead of the 2024 election and moving forward?
One of the biggest issues right now is reproductive freedom. And so the topic of abortion, IVF, of course, all of that is heavily talked about right now in politics, but it is affecting Black women. The other thing that we constantly hear from Black women as an issue that they want addressed is gun safety, or gun violence, I should say, and safety in their communities. And then finally, what we hear from Black women, as well as Black voters at large, is the issue of jobs and the economy. So I'm sure all of that will come up with our event next week.
Talk about how important is the power of the Black vote in this upcoming election.
Every source that I talk to always says the same thing, which is that democracy cannot prevail without Black voters. When it comes to Democrats specifically, we know that Black voters make up an incredibly large portion of the Democratic base. And so when it comes to President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris's reelection campaign, those are the voters they're really going to need to single out. But we've also seen former President Donald Trump also trying to talk more to Black voters. We've seen him appearing at different Black events. We've also seen him now considering to have a Black vice president on the ticket with him. So we can see both sides, both parties are really pushing for the Black voters to cast their ballots for them.
Cheyanne, how can we generate more interest among Black voters to go to the polls?
Absolutely. You know, this is a question that all politicians are asking themselves right now. And what it really comes down to is that Black voters, as motivated as they are still waiting to hear about who is the best choice for them to vote for. And so we've heard the Democrats say that part of that means getting the proper messaging out about what's been beneficial for the Black community under the Biden-Harris administration. On the flip side of that, we've heard Republicans talking about what do we have to highlight to show them that Republicans would be their best choice. So it really is going to boil down to messaging going into November.
And again, talk about the importance of this event. Share more details about who's going to be involved and how others can be involved, with this amazing dialogue, this amazing opportunity to really talk about the issues that are pressing.
Absolutely. So we are hosting, it will be a bipartisan event. So we have Black Republicans as well as Black Democrats present. So we will have, for some of our headliner interviews, Whitley Yates of the Indiana Republican Party. She handles a lot of their diversity engagement initiatives for the Indiana Republican Party, as well as Stacey Abrams, who is a former gubernatorial candidate. And for a brief period of time, many thought that she would be selected in the role that Kamala Harris is now in, which is the vice presidency. And then we'll also have a panel discussion delving into more about what those issues are that Black women want to hear addressed going into November.
Cheyanne Daniels, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.